fixing this all in
Hello,
post.
everybody. We are live. This is Soundbooth Theater live, facing tons of technical difficulties that has made us very, very late. We apologize, everybody. And we didn't even get the technical difficulty resolved. So we're still streaming. We're still going to be acting this out. Man, the one thing is like hearing Justin with the effects. With the robot effects that we made. Like what I did with it was I basically just did a bass boost with it and then added the chorus. And like a little bit of a pitch shifter, I think. So you're gonna sound like even though we want you in that tenor range for this character, it's still gonna have like that broad sound because of the bass boost. So anyway, guys, this is the last cold read of Pilgrims. Not technically a cold read. That's just what we call the show, okay? Stop giving us shit. All right? Justin is going to be playing Virgil. Gary is going to be playing Father Ambrose. And, they're replacing the voices that I did in the audiobook. So, let's see here. You guys have the script open?
Yes.
I'll be playing the author, M.R. Leonard.
You do it so
whose
well.
voice is too grating to even come close to trying to narrate my own work.
It's actually not that bad, dude. I have to say.
It's like a 4 out of 10, you know?
I don't know, a 6. A 6.
Cause gentleman 6, I appreciate it.
It's got some
strong 6.
Some interesting texture in there, you know? Like it's not pure. And
that's what they're calling it nowadays, texture.
Texture, yeah. To be honest, for me, a voice that is fine and perfect and without flaws is boring, and I don't want to hear it. It's like when I listen to musicals or operas or stuff like that with singers, most of the time I can't deal with it because their technique is so perfect and zeroed in that it sounds like everybody else. So it immediately turns me off. I gotta have something there to like make the singer stand out, or else it sounds academic, you know,
like clinical.
Soul. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So
I'm gonna tell my wife this. It's like, do you know my voice is textured? And Jeff loves it, and he's an expert.
Jeff Hayes said it. That means it's true. That applies to most things.
Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start on chapter. Let me find it. Chapter 13. So this is where we first get introduced to Virgil. Let's see. Did you spell out 13? Oh, it's just it's the number. 13. There's no...
Yep.
There we are. Okay.
Can I ask Gary and Justin, did you read the book or you just read your lines? Like, how does it work to prep?
I have not read the book. I read the first. Usually for voices, I don't read the book, especially if it's a directed session, because then Jeff will fill me in. But in this case, I did read. I think the first. Is it a prologue with the spider creatures? Yes, and that was it. Yeah, it's very captivating, and it definitely did.
Excellent. All right, was just wondering.
I don't think
Jeff,
I met my character.
Oh, good. Jeff, do you need me? I'm just going to sit back and watch unless you need me to say anything. So
if you just want to mute, and then whenever you have something to say, unmute, we're good. Like this is if you hear something and you're like, hey, let's try it this way. If you want to do any kind of directing at all, just pop in.
Copy that.
All right. Hey, Chris Edwards is here. Mystic Barking Cow is here. Thanks for coming, guys. And let's see if we can we hear playback here?
Barking cow.
Anybody?
I'm not hearing it.
Nor I.
That's a bummer. Settings, audio. Anything I can do about that? Layouts, camera, general.
Imagine it's somewhere in the loopback settings and the input you're using on StreamYard.
Hey, Dancing Vorcha. Nice. I know you. Good to see you.
Yep, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's a way for us to feed in audio, and I don't have loopback anymore, so that's just the
what
way
happened
it's
to
going to
loopback?
have to be. Well, because loopback was completely crashing my whole computer.
Really?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh man. That
And it
sucks.
just refused to stop doing that. So I just got rid of it. Hopefully one day it'll be updated to a point where I can download it again, but it was completely unusable. So, yeah, all right. Well, it looks like, so what I'll be doing is I'll just be acting with you guys and fleshing the scene out as we go. Just to get this going so that you guys have your reference. You've already got the direction in the script here, but I'll just, make it obvious for everybody else who's watching. We're going to have Gary Furlong play Mr. Father Ambrose.
Mr. Father Ambrose.
Mr. Father Ambrose. So the direction I have here is basically American, maybe transatlantic. And the reason that I wanted to go transatlantic is because I wanted to kind of lean into that educated sort of thing. I wanted him to stand out a bit, and I wanted the priestly nature to come up a little bit. But to be honest, it's hard for me to imagine anybody in real life who has this kind of accent, like Frasier, for instance, right?
Yeah,
Frasier has this accent. Kelsey Grammer, does he, when in interviews and stuff, does he sound like that?
His is in real life he's a bit more rounded is the only way I can think. It's like it's more twangy than Frasier is.
Mm-hmm.
Less borrowing from that Britishness that transatlantic is.
Yeah, I'm curious, but like for whatever reason, Gary, when you're doing it, it sounds natural. Like that audition that you sent in. So I think we can stick to it.
I'll stick to the audition. Whether it's transatlantic, I don't know, but I tried, and I'll stick to what I did in the audition.
It's funny though, because let's say it's not transatlantic. You used the exact same accent I did. Like,
oh, brilliant!
Like it was literally like I felt like you listened to what I did and did that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think it is transatlantic because we were both aiming for the same thing.
I'm gonna say it is. It is now.
From Chicago, mid-40s, affable, fat, loves food and all peoples, devout, pious, despite being kind and fun, will stand up and defend himself and others tirelessly if needed. So overall, a stand-up guy. Overall, someone you want in your corner. Because he'll be jolly and have fun, but also have your back when the chips are down. So that's Father Ambrose, and then Justin Thomas James will be playing Virgil, who is arguably the Jesus character of this book. I've always wanted Justin to play Jesus in something, so this is the closest we're going to get so far. So we have in the direction here, robot representative of the aliens, very devout Catholic, gentle tenor voice. But there's something else about him that I don't want to spoil for everybody who's watching here. But you see the direction there, Justin?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So, let's try this out. Now, another thing, both of you guys are going to have to navigate around Latin pronunciation. Thankfully, yes. Mr. Michael Leonard did his due diligence, and he went to an actual Latin scholar and had him record every Latin line in the book. So what I have in the set is reliable. You can listen to the way I pronounced it and use it that way.
Okay. So probably we'll be re-recording this anyways. I am going to have like a backup recording, but
same.
I don't think I'll have time to listen to the
Justin's first few lines are all Latin.
No.
Yeah.
Because
now I did take Latin in grade 9 high school. I can still say the Lord's Prayer in Latin.
Oh,
wow.
Perfect.
That comes in handy in this book.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Pater noster, quies in caelis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Yeah.
A plus.
Is that
There you
right?
go.
Adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua sicut in caelo et in terra, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Something like that.
That sounds great.
Fuck yeah.
Talk about casting. Well done,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Dude, total accident. Had no idea he'd be able to just knock Latin out of the park like that. So
It's
holy
funny
shit.
that it was the Lord's Prayer, too. And this is the very context of the book.
That's right.
Yeah.
The guy, the scholar, he kind of, there's all sorts of debate on how Latin actually sounds. And obviously it existed for a long time. So at different points in time, it probably sounded different. So the guy that Jeff had to listen to, he puts a lot of flourish on it. It's probably a good reference, but we don't need to be like obligated to it 100%. So,
Right.
Got it.
All right. So I think what we should probably do is the very first line that Virgil has, I think we can skip past a bit of that and go down to your second line, Justin, because this is where we're going to be going more back and forth.
Got it.
Is it? Yeah.
Genio queso indulgeas.
Yeah.
Something
So
like that.
AE makes an I, like I sound.
Yeah.
So quaiso.
Queso.
Yeah. The I is E, like the E sound. So indulgeas. So the E.
Indulgeas.
Yeah.
Genio queso indulgeas.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, so you're in baritone right now. Let's go up to tenor.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start narrating from On Another Wall, and then you guys just come in.
Try find
You guys see that? Do you guys see in the script how we have these carrots on the outside, carrots and brackets on the outside of some of these lines?
carrots.
On the outside. Yes, I see the carrots.
Not carrots. What are they called? The carrots are
Brackets.
like this.
Oh yeah.
Brackets.
They do look like
brackets and like
carrots.
what is this thing?
Yeah.
I accepted them as carrots.
Okay.
Now that I see
All right.
them, it's
They're
like
carrots
they're
now.
carrots.
All right. So this is a new thing that that Guillaume has incorporated. Whenever there's anything that's like a direction in the narration, that will draw attention to it. So you can,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Ah, what a guy.
dude, Guillaume is a treasure. He is our daredevil ninja. Like, dude, I'm so happy you found him. Anyway, okay, so those directions are
He
there
found
for
us.
you, and you can. I'll go ahead and skip them. I'm gonna skip anything that's got the carrots. around it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. On another wall, Austin saw a door leading to a washroom with polished travertine tiles in front of a crystal-handled sink and a gold commode. To his left stood the piece de resistance, the piece de resistance, an ivory table covered in an abundance of food, its delicacies piled so high that Austin thought he might be smothered by a tidal wave of honey ham and caviar. He hadn't seen food like this in 5 years.
Genio queso indulgeas. Iter Paulo minus quam 2 horas durabit.
Holy shit. Fuck yeah. Okay, sorry.
That sounds badass.
That was so awesome. Okay. Wow. You're gonna just like speed through this. Okay. Please make yourselves comfortable. The journey will take just under 2 hours.
Comfortable? I'm worried I'll be so comfortable I won't want to leave.
Good. Okay, let's try that one more time, Gary, and let's I think so he's in I'm around new people mode. Right? So he's kind of putting forth a little bit bigger of a personality. So I think
Cool.
during this part if you can just be a little bigger.
Cool.
All right, so I'll start with my line. Please make yourselves comfortable. The journey will take just under 2 hours.
Comfortable? I'm worried I'll be so comfortable I won't want to leave.
The floor beneath them shifted, and all three of them flinched, reaching out for something to steady themselves.
Noli timere. Ascendere coepimus. Maiorem quam viginti quinque centimus.
There we go. Okay, so all right, the C's are gonna be K's most of the time.
They're K's. Oh, Kente.
I think double C is the ch sound, but I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh.
Right? Wait, no. Vincenzo
Centesimis.
only has C.
I think it's one C. Yeah, so it's centesimis variationem gravitatis non experieris.
Oh, here's one other thing that you're doing. You're Frenching the R's instead of tapping.
Erieris.
There we go.
Erieris. Experieris. Okay.
There we are.
I was going, experieris.
Yeah.
Spiriari.
Well, it makes sense because you learned Latin in Canada.
Experieris. Oui, c'est vrai. Okay, so from where?
Yeah, so it'd be let's just start from the top. Noli timere. I think you got timere. Ascendere.
Ascendere.
Yeah.
Okay. Ascendere coepimus.
Yeah. Maiorem
Quam viginti quinque centesimis variationem gravitatis non experieris.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I think
Experiarmus.
So Viginti.
Viginti.
I don't think I've heard him use a J for the G ever in his pronunciation guide. So Viginti quinque centesimis.
Centes. Are we doing the cen?
I think it's going to be the K. Maybe we do we do the CH until it's like CI. Right?
Chi.
So
okay.
So for chi, but like so centesimis variationem. I think you got that one.
Variationem.
Yeah. Gravitatis.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a dash there. Is that not meant to be?
I think that's just because it's a line break.
It's a line break. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. This is so this is in our Excel format, which I don't know if you're curious about it. I'll show you at some point, Michael, the way that the way that we convert your manuscript into Excel file is pretty cool.
Quintesimis variationem gravitatis non experieris.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try the whole line one more time, and then Justin, you're like in host mode. You're happy to have them. You're so excited, and you're trying to contain yourself because you've literally been traveling for more than 1,000 years to get to Earth in order to do this pilgrimage, and so. You're basically, this is your first time interacting with like the holy people, right?
Yes.
The aliens who made you see humans as like, oh, this is like God, created them in his image, right? And you're just another set of life forms that have found us and have come here. So,
yes.
Especially, really, Father Ambrose. He's kind of like, he's the VIP.
Yep.
And so it doesn't really matter. It's like, pick your favorite celebrity, whoever you'd love to be in the room. If there's a few of their entourage there, they're just Austin and the general are kind of the entourage. But Father Ambrose is the VIP. And just as Jeff described, it's like the top of the summit of what they're going after.
Right. Okay.
All right. So let's go one more time from Noli Timere, and then we'll keep going.
Noli timere, ascendere coepimus, maiorem quam viginti quinque centesimis variationem gravitatis non experieris.
Don't be alarmed. We have started our ascent. You will not experience gravitational variance greater than 25%.
I think he means we're only going to pull between 0.75 and 1.25 Gs. We don't have to worry about floating up to the ceiling.
Father Ambrose wasted no time, making his way over to the food table and generously drowning a shrimp in some cocktail sauce.
That's good to hear. I get indigestion when I eat upside down.
You're braver than me, Padre. 2 minutes in and you're shoveling your mouth full of alien food.
Would you like some? We don't want to be rude to our hosts.
Rude? I'll tell you what's rude. For the last 5 years, we've sent...
Okay, so that's a lot of back and forth between General Ferguson and Austin. We can skip down a little bit. A little more, another Latin challenge for Virgil here.
Sumus pontifex numquam nos salutavit. So quia sumus pontifex numquam nos salutavit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, one more time, deliver that as Virgil, and we'll keep going.
Sure. Can I get the question?
Okay, yeah.
From Austin?
Why did you not respond to our messages?
Quia sumus pontifex numquam nos salutavit.
What did it say?
It said, because the Supreme Pontiff never hailed us. Father Ant.
Oh, do you want? Yeah.
No, yeah. Do it.
Sorry. If only you'd asked Pope Stephen for a hand, General. We could have cleared everything up 5 years ago.
General Ferguson shot Father Ambrose a stern glance before redirecting his attention back to the robot.
Now you listen. The United States of America...
Austin de Santis. Quid tu hic?
Austin? What a great first name.
Hold on. There is... I don't know why this is labeled for Virgil, because it should.
It is. Well, if you're going to the italics, this is Virgil.
This is Virgil now.
This is for the purposes of the reader. It's like the Hunt for
right,
Red
right.
October when they're going
Right.
from Russian and they turn to English so that
Yeah,
we don't have to listen to translation.
Right.
Perfect.
All right.
Pope Stephen said there would be only one other, a military commander. Yet you are here as well, attending the inspection.
Okay, cool. So let's smooth this out. I don't think we need accent.
Okay.
I think if we just keep it to your natural accent, we're good.
Pope Stephen said there would be only one.
I think we need more Calvin. No, I'm kidding. I have the same correction as Jeff.
Good. Okay.
So yeah, nice and smooth. So this is like, yeah, practiced. It should sound practiced too.
Pope Stephen said there would be only one other, a military commander. Yet you are here as well, attending the inspection.
What's it saying, DeSantis?
Austin's legs wobbled as he imagined something being chucked out into space like unwanted cargo.
Jeff, I just had one direction here.
Yeah.
There's as much Virgil's kind of like robotic, so he won't have huge affects, but he does have some. And in this, Virgil's being slightly accusing. It's not just like an innocent question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good work.
Yeah, you'll see as the dialogue goes, we want to build the dread a little bit progressively.
Sure.
And as a robot, is he a bit too melodic right now, or should I tone down the melody and
I love the
more
melody.
robotic, or the melody's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
Pope Stephen said there would be only one other, a military commander. Yet you are here as well, attending the inspection.
What's it saying, DeSantis?
Austin's legs wobbled as he imagined himself being chucked out into space like unwanted cargo.
You are not a soldier, though. No. You speak the language of the Holy Church.
DeSantis?
Ah, yes. You are a teacher, one who transmits knowledge to the young. But a few days ago your master released you, sent you away without recompense.
Sweat began to pour from Austin's brow. How did the robot know so much?
Are you okay, Austin?
There is more, Austin DeSantis. More that you hide.
Austin's breath caught in his throat as shame mixed with terror.
You seek the one they call Aurelia, spending hours gaping at her image, as if when you espouse her when you are alone, your flesh is actually made one.
DeSantis, answer me!
You are tortured by this fiction. It has caused you and the ones you love great pain.
Austin felt himself getting lightheaded, his body doing everything it could to avoid passing out.
Unburden yourself, Austin, for you will only be free when you follow the way, the truth, and the life.
DeSantis, so help me!
Austin had to cooperate fully. That was the deal. He opened his mouth, about to translate and speak his secrets into the world, but he closed it again before any words came out.
If you don't tell me right now, I'll...
Hello, robot sir. We haven't been properly introduced. What do we call you? Do you have a name?
Austin's eyes went wide as the robot bowed deeply in Father Ambrose's direction.
My apologies, Father. Please forgive my ill manners. My name is Virgil. It is my great honor to be your host.
The room fell silent, the revelation leaving them all stunned.
You can speak English?
Yes, Father. For you, our most honored guest, I am happy to speak in whatever language you prefer.
That's very kind of you. Perhaps we can speak in English and give poor Austin a break.
As you wish, Father.
General Ferguson glared at Austin, his eyes narrow on his craggy face.
Please, take a seat and rest. There will be much to see during your inspection, and I must get back to my prayers.
Dude! Justin, you're sounding fucking amazing.
Thank you.
This is sounding even better than I imagined it was going to, so thank you both. Do you guys want to run one more scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely.
so down in, I think that was 13, so we're in 14 now. We can skip ahead a bit, because it's all just Austin versus Ferguson.
Perfect. Yeah. Starting
Alright.
with the line, Father
Yeah.
Ambrose. Yeah, okay.
All right. So I'm going to just start with the narration right above that.
Great.
Father Ambrose looked serene, snoring on his couch, but General Ferguson's warning took purchase in Austin's head. The priest's slumber transformed, suddenly seeming sinister. He was far too comfortable here. Basically, General Ferguson has just told Austin, you can't trust the priest. Okay.
Never liked him.
General Ferguson slipped back to his sofa, resuming his emotionless stare as the orange glow of the fire washed over him. Austin hadn't blown it, although he'd come close. He'd redouble his efforts to make the general proud and prove he was worthy of the largesse he would receive on the other end.
Father?
Was I asleep?
It seems so, Father. We will be arriving at the ship momentarily. I kindly ask that you remain seated. As we change our angular momentum, you will experience microgravity, but do not be alarmed. It will pass quickly.
For a moment, Austin's legs became light, but as quick as it began, it ended, his feet depressing back into the plush Persian rug.
We have arrived.
A vivid light filled the dark room as the mahogany wall behind Virgil folded open. Austin strained to see, but the light coming in was so bright he couldn't see anything on the other side. Following Virgil through this new door, he could hardly believe the sight before his eyes. They had stepped into a pastoral landscape. These line breaks are killing me. Not a ship with metal hallways or row upon row of alien technology, but a grassy plain, a verdant forest rising up on either side.
It's Edenic.
Not Eden, Father. We are all east of there.
Austin looked up, trying to find the ceiling, but all he could see was a bright blue sky.
Virgil, the forest curves up toward the sky over in that direction. Over in that direction, too. Why is that?
Virgil paused in his stride, the blades of grass curling up over his feet.
We are on a rotating habitat, Father. One of three similarly sized ones contained within the asteroid that encapsulates our ship. When you look toward the rotational horizon, you can see the curve. The rotation allows us to experience 0.79 Gs at ground level. While this is lower gravity than humans are used to, it is the gravity in which we are most comfortable.
Austin tried to detect whether stepping into a sylvan paradise orbiting high above Earth was surprising to General Ferguson, but if he felt anything, Austin couldn't tell.
Is that the gravity on your home world, Virgil?
Yes, Father.
Fascinating. Virgil, I've been wondering, what do we call you? Or, to say it another way, what do your people call themselves?
Our people communicate using visual means, Father, by changing their skin pigmentation to form symbols. As such, we lack an auditory word for our people. What do you humans call us?
I don't know if there's a consensus, but since your arrival, many humans have taken to calling your people Pilgrims, and we have been referring to machines like you as diplomats.
You humans surprise me. That nomenclature is incredibly apt. Please feel comfortable referring to us as such going forward.
Father Ambrose shot Austin a jubilant look, seemingly proud of having established the official taxonomy of an alien race. But Austin was careful not to meet his eyes.
Now, we must hurry to the chapel.
A slab of shiny silver metal hovered half a foot off the ground with 3 seats on top.
The delegation from the Vatican... The Vatican? The delegation from the Vatican has already arrived.
Is it in the chapel that you would like to do the perpetual adoration?
Father Ambrose climbed into a seat atop the sled. Virgil positioned himself at the helm.
Yes, Father.
Taking a seat next to General Ferguson, Austin scanned his face to see if he knew what a perpetual adoration was, or that their destination was a chapel, but he appeared as surprised as Austin. As the sled began to move, Austin wondered what other details Father Ambrose was hiding from them. The sled gained speed quickly, soon whipping over the grassy plain so fast the forests on either side blurred. The ground undulated slightly, the sled going up and down gentle grades, which made Austin realize that the terrain was not uniform, but instead textured. At one point, Austin saw a bird that looked very much like a hawk circling above, soaring upward on thermal currents.
Is that the chapel?
Father Ambrose shouted over the rushing air as the sled made its way to the top of a hill.
Yes, Father.
My God, it's huge. It makes St. Peter's look like a dollhouse.
The sled crested the hill, and the full scale of the chapel came into view. It was constructed of the same silver metal as Virgil, but so large it made the crafts that hovered over cities back on Earth seem insignificant. It stretched out so wide that Austin could see the curvature of the structure as it spread itself across the horizon. Its 12 spires rose up into the air for what seemed like miles, the center spire the tallest of them all. In front of the chapel was a crystal-clear body of water that reflected the majesty of the structure back at itself like a liquid mirror. Austin absorbed it all, transfixed by its beauty. As they drew closer, he spotted the delegation from Rome standing next to another sled parked... Oh, wait. Okay. That's going to be stuff between... No, it's all right. We'll keep going. Austin couldn't get over the strangeness of traveling all the way from Earth to find a group of humans milling around, waiting like they'd made plans to meet up at the local park.
Cardinal Benedetto.
Francis! The Vatican delegation consisted of 4 members, the cardinal with his red skull cap, and 3 other priests. Accompanying them was another robot identical to Virgil, save for its domed head glowing a soft violet. "Sorry to take you from your lens, Francis, but His Holiness insisted that you join us."
It's my pleasure, Your Eminence.
Jumping down off the sled, Father Ambrose took the cardinal's hand and kissed his ring. Austin met General Ferguson's eyes. He seemed to be just as discomfited as Austin at having to witness the antiquated display.
When I became an astronomer, I never thought I'd end up through the... Oh, sorry. When I became an astronomer, I never thought I'd end up through the looking glass and up here in space.
It is the mystery of divine providence.
Your Eminence, I'd like to introduce you to my...
"Look!" one of the priests in the cardinal's delegation shouted. A slit had appeared in the chapel wall, hundreds of feet high. Silently, the walls on either side began folding apart, peering through the giant door. Austin at first saw nothing but a hazy white mist, but then the dot of a silhouette materialized. It grew larger by the second, until suddenly a giant diplomat stood over them, its domed head glowing a deep crimson.
Pontifex honoratissime, eo ipso quod tu hic ades ecclesiam nostram illuminas, sicut Dominus Deus noster omnem creaturam amore suo illuminat.
Austin leaned over to General Ferguson and translated. "Honored Bishop, your presence here illuminates our humble church, as the Lord our God illuminates all of creation with his love."
Humble. In narthex investigationem tuam incipiamus ut iudicemus, num haec ecclesia sit habitaculum Domino Deo nostro dignum.
"Let us begin your inspection in the narthex." Oh, shit. You've been muted. There.
Sorry.
There.
Would you just give me the lead-in line again? Sorry.
"Let us begin your inspection in the narthex?"
That's right, Austin. The narthex is the front room of a church. It's like an antechamber.
Austin shot Father Ambrose a sharp look and leaned even closer to General Ferguson, whispering the rest of the translation, "To see if this church is a worthy dwelling place for the Lord our God." Okay, so this is a double C. I don't remember how he pronounced it.
Accede.
I think it's probably, yeah.
Accede propius, nam narthex inges est, et eta via derare periculosum est.
But stay close, for the narthex is vast, and to get lost inside risks peril. The giant diplomat turned around and walked back inside. The violet-headed diplomat followed, as well as the cardinal and his accompanying priests.
"They're leaving without you, Father."
Oh, I see. I just figured since we all rode up together, the 3 of us would proceed as a group.
Father Ambrose looked at Austin. He knew the father was searching for an ally, and he couldn't help but think of how kind the man had been to him so far. But after a moment, Austin looked up, meeting Father Ambrose's eyes. "No, you're not in our group." All right, and that's it. So, Michael, how are we feeling?
I love it. Virgil, Justin, you have Virgil down. That's definitely the cadence, the melody. Oftentimes he's described in the book as having a sonorous voice. It's sounding like music. Gary, I love your cadence with Father Ambrose. You and Jeff both have a very similar affect and your accent that you used, but I like your kind of cadence better. It's really working for me. The only direction that wouldn't apply to these scenes, and sometimes when you're playing a robot, Justin, there can be kind of a lot of things that you import. Like if I was Data on Star Trek, like what's my emotional range? And because Data doesn't really have one, right?
Right.
I want Virgil to be definitely higher than Data, as some of some of these later scenes, what you're going to see is that Virgil gets quite overcome, but also not departing. So he's just like some sort of Westworld robot that is indistinguishable from another human.
Right.
I think there's even one direction later in the book, I think chapter 34, so towards the end, where Virgil wailed. That's the secondary action that's described. So figure out how to do that balance, because I don't know how to do it, but so far it's been amazing.
Have you seen iRobot?
Yes.
I think it's maybe I'm wrong now, but it feels like it's similar to the main maybe it's the main robot in there, maybe it's AI, but it kind of, most of the time it's like robot, but every now and then it's like you see the robot almost act with a ton of emotion. You're like almost to the point where you're like, wait, that's crazy that you have that much emotion, but the most of the time it's like flat robot-y goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's probably definitely influenced kind of my picture of him.
Another direction that inspiration voice that you referenced, Michael, was
Invincible.
Robot Man from Invincible. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, not Robot Man. That's Doom Patrol.
I forget the character's name from the show.
I think it's just Robot. I think it's just
Robot. And if someone's seen the show, the twist is applicable to Virgil. So without giving that away, it kind of informs kind of why the range can be the way it is.
Got it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, guys, I'm now even more confident that you guys are going to knock this out of the park. I'm looking forward to listening to it once you're done. I'm very invested in this project. It's so much fun, and it's so interesting, and just something that we have not even come close to trying before. So, thanks for signing up for it. And Michael, you got anything else that you want to say? Anybody want to say anything before we go?
Just going to get a quick cover shot before we get out of here.
Get rid of the. There we go.
There we go.
Solo you here.
The pre-sale begins. It'll start later in October. That's when the Amazon page will go up for pre-orders and such. And as you know, you can't review a book on Amazon until it's been published. The publication date is November 15th. Pilgrims right around American and Canadian Thanksgiving. So I'm not sure the Pilgrims part applies as much in Canada, but we want to replace people's thoughts of gathering with family and enjoying a large amount of food with just my book and kind of aggressive purchasing thereof, especially the audiobook. But it's very seasonal tie-in. But the Goodreads reviews have started to come in. There's advanced readers. So
nice.
There is a Goodreads page. I can drop it into the chat if you like.
Yeah, please do. And then I'll drop it into the comments here.
Yeah. So, and I think it's really interesting. The book is meant for a general audience, obviously. That's, I think, why Jeff was willing to pick it up. This isn't like, just for anyone who's just wants to buy whatever's Christian or whatnot. It's written for everyone else. And you'll see that in the comments on Goodreads. A lot of people kind of identify that and say, like, I was really skeptical of a book with Christianity in it, but Christianity and Aliens was just too enticing to put down. I'm really glad I read it. So I think this is going to be a good addition to the Soundbooth Theater kind of repertoire. It's different. It's not a lit RPG, but I think a lot of people are going to kind of get into the weirdness and hopefully enjoy the story, because it takes the idea of Catholic aliens showing up in the sky very seriously. And that takes us to some interesting places.
All right, cool. You guys got anything else to say before we go?
Just from the standpoint as like a narrator, for you to have gone and researched all that Latin to give us the pronunciation, the correct pronunciation, I don't know if you know how helpful that was. Because it's just, when you see like a ton of script that maybe you're like, I'm not familiar with that. It's just like the amount of work that could be versus what it is now because of the research you've done for us is like just the most helpful thing ever. And we thank you.
I'm very gratified to hear that.
Definitely,
I'm glad it's getting some good use, and I'm really excited to hear your guys' renditions of the characters and to hear it all put together. I mean, I heard Jeff do it, and it was amazing. So I think when the final product gets out, myself, but also many of the listeners and readers will be very gratified. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like watching Justin just kind of like zoom through the Latin. I was just like, fuck,
was
man, that took
impressive.
me 30 minutes.
I felt bad
Yeah.
for Jeff. He was like, I'll bang this whole story out in 5 days. And it went over budget time wise, all because of my Latin. The Latin just,
Yeah.
oh man, I screwed him over.
Well, you can thank Ms. Van Wow from grade 9 Latin. Yeah, she was like, I'm going to teach you the Lord's Prayer in Latin, and you are going to remember it for the rest of your life. And I don't remember what that montage looked like, but I do, I guess. So
Well, we'll remember her. Add her to the acknowledgments.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah.
That's awesome. It just goes to show this is all coming together for a reason, and I think it's going to be great. So
Awesome. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Well,
We'll
thanks one more time for making that extra hour of your time available for today. Really appreciate it. We're going to end here, but watch out for the cold reads to come out on our platform, guys. We're going to take all the audio from all 3 of these cold reads and put them on our platform so that anyone who wants to can listen to some of the making of here. And yeah, watch out for the release of this. We're going to be done with it not too long from now. It's a relatively short book. The musical stuff is for Justin also like just super easy to do. He's kind of used to this type of music already. So I think that we're going to have an amazing product very soon. So thank you again, Michael, for coming on and for choosing us for your audiobook producers. And everybody else, you guys have the great rest of your week. Tomorrow we're doing one more cold read for When Life Gives You Legends. The Kickstarter is up right now for that project. Go check that out. We are more than 50% funded on it. And I'll just be doing my character voices for When Life Gives You Legends tomorrow. And we'll have the author and perhaps Dory, or was it Aaron? We'll have people there directing me. Don't worry. So anyway, that's tomorrow at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. One more cold read. All right, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
thank you.
take care. Thank you.
Ah.